Alright, ladies and gents, what up? It's your favorite Asian robot, hopefully your favorite DarkTide partner, and I'm here today to cover patch 1.0.25. Now, this patch is mostly a balance patch, but fear not, because later this week, I'm also going to cover the dev blog, where they're going to talk about crafting, Sire Melk's Requisitorium and the Armory Exchange, all that good stuff. I'll also be testing out some of the stuff in the patch notes in a stream for DarkTide very soon, so look forward to that. Now, on to the patch notes. All right, here's what's going on. This is mostly a balance patch, like I said. So in terms of the Ogryn, they've fixed an issue where Skullbreaker's intimidating presence was a multiplier instead of a modifier. Okay. The Skullbreaker's tweaks are reduce the damage reduction from hardest nails per nearby knockdown or incapacitated ally from 25% to 20. Hardest nails now only counts allies within 20 meters. Fixed an issue with Raging Bull where only the second attack was empowered, and now it'll trigger on all melee attacks. They reduced the bonus damage from Raging Bull from 5% to 2.5%. They added a HUD icon to the Skullbreaker feat for hardest nails. Okay, that's good. That's good. I mean, on a personal level, I like those changes. They seem fairly decent. I don't see anything being too negative, but I don't understand why they're nerfing the Ogryn. Like, my honest thought is, shouldn't the Ogryn be getting a damage buff? Like, that's my feeling. I feel like the Ogryn's melee damage should be buffed. He's a big hulking dude. They're super strong, lore-wise. You know? They're meant to be tanky, so cut their range capability and just give them more melee capability. At least that's the way I feel about it. Maybe this will happen more with subclasses, but I just don't see a nerf as being necessary. Anyway, it is what it is. Okay, Zealot. In terms of the Zealot Preacher, they have increased the toughness bonus from Purifying Blood from 50% to 75%. They've reduced the toughness damage reduction from Faith Restored from 75% down to 50%. This is going to change Zealot builds a little bit because now Zealots are most likely going to be more about getting into combat and killing quickly. This is going to sort of flip the whole environment around the Zealot. It might make Thunderhammer Zealots much more popular because what they've done is they've actually reduced the toughness damage reduction from the Bleed Crit Zealot. So the Bleed Crit Zealot has unfortunately been nerfed. That's something else I guess we should take into account. Now for the Psyker, okay, fixed an issue where the warp charge cost would incorrectly increase when using Brain Burst. All right. Fixed issue where psykinetic abilities would sometimes get interrupted by being stunned. Okay. Psykinetic tweaks. Increase the damage bonus gain from Warp Siphon from 3% to 4% per warp charge. So our previous damage improvement was 12%. Now it's 16%. Pretty okay. Warp Siphon charges will now fall off gradually. Oh, they made that change. So now instead of like all of them disappearing at once, I think it's 4, 3, 2, 1. We will test this ASAP. They've increased the damage and stagger of Brain Burst by about 10%. They've increased the damage taken by the target from 15% to 25% when using Cerebral Lacerations. Again, this is going to be very handy in Damnation and Heresy runs, much more so than in lower level runs. Because this will actually be designed. This is actually really useful for getting rid of some of the much tougher targets. Also, things last longer in Damnation Heresy, allowing you to actually feed off the Ascendant Blaze to get your stacks rather than relying on the other feat in the same tier as Cerebral Laceration. So that's something else to consider. Okay, in terms of the Veteran, they fixed the issue where Counterfire didn't increase weak spot damage by an additional 25%. So Veteran got a buff. It fixed an issue where Counterfire and Sustained Fire would refresh Volley Fire on Ogryn kills. Nerfed! They've raised the reload speed received from Blessing Speed Load from 0.04 to 0.14 on the highest rarity. Okay. Sharpshooter tweaks. Increase the amount of toughness replenished from Exhilarating Takedown and Covering Fire from 10% to 15%. Increase the amount of stamina restored by Duck and Dive from 20% to 30%. Okay. Now in terms of weapons, all right? These ones I am mostly going to let you read on your own because I think that it's much more important to do so. but I'm going to cover a few of them that I feel is very important. They fixed a bug where the combat shotgun was unaffected by weapon stats when firing directly after reloading. Okay, this is a majorly important change. Will it make the shotgun viable? We'll test and see. Fixed an issue where the damage stats for the primary attack with the Magnacore plasma gun showed lower values than the actual damage. Okay, that's really, really good. I'm happy to see that one. They fixed the issue where the assault chain axe wouldn't trigger bloodthirsty on all attacks, which is very helpful. Oh, they fixed, this is an important one. They fixed an issue that would cause a crash when doing a push follow-up attack with the Force Sword and rapidly switching to your ranged weapon. This has happened many times to me as a psyker, so now we know why. Okay, they tweaked the damage output from all Ripper Gun weapons against Carapace armor, so buff for Ripper Guns. Tweaked the damage output of the Ripper Gun Mark 5 and Mark 4. Mark 6, sorry. Okay, so they've increased the damage output overall. Increase the ammo count of the Ripper Guns. Nice. Lawrence Mark 5 kickback. I can't remember what this is. Pork cleaver. So they've changed Ogren weapons again. Seems to be mostly a buff here. Okay, skipping over the Ogren weapons mostly. Wow, Ogren weapons have the most stuff. So Ogren mains, you guys might want to read this. The Ogren got a toughness nerf, but they appear to have a bit of a damage buff mostly for their weapons. Okay, they've tweaked the chain axe so that the first heavy attack is slightly more horizontal. This way you can cleave through more enemies. Whether or not this will make the chain axe good and viable, let's see. In comparison to the power sword anyway. I'll be testing this out. They've made the Headhunter autoguns easier to handle. They've raised the damage versus flak and unyielding enemies. Okay. Increase the average clip size. But the problem is the whole ammo efficiency. Anyway, I guess we can take a look at the Headhunter autoguns and see whether or not they're worth anything. They've increased the damage and impact to heavy attacks with the chain axe, so a lot of buffs for the chain axe this time. Increased sweep speed of push follow-up and decreased chain time to block. Okay, great. So they've basically made the chain axe faster and allowed it to damage one more target while cleaving. Nice. This I think I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to trying the chain axe. I've always been a Khorne fan, so that might be awesome. Okay. Now, they fixed the stamina curio where the perk would apply +1 instead of the correct amount. So hopefully that helps the people that have been complaining about the stamina curios. They've made some tweaks to the enemies, namely the scab shooter. Well, it's the only enemy they've made tweaks to. They've reduced the damage from shots by 20%, increased the base aim duration before shot from 0.5 to about 0.3 to 0.5. It's scaled down by difficulty, so at Damnation, it'll aim pretty quickly. They've increased the base cooldown after the shots from... They've increased it slightly by a quarter of a second. So hopefully this helps people not get immediately ripped by these. Okay, great. They've fixed clipping issues with the Surge Force staff. This is just cosmetics, trinket options, veteran options. The Untouchable and On Overwatch penances didn't unlock as expected, so hopefully these are fixed for people chasing penances. They've now made it change so that players with faster machines will no longer have to wait for players with slower machines to finish loading before starting the mission. Okay, this is going to lead to people spreading out. I hope you know that. But it is what it is. They've tweaked the bots to not prioritize reviving other knockdown bots if there are too many enemies around them. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else that's important. Okay, this is important. Recently played with users on Steam will now show up in the recent games within Steam. So this will be helpful for people who have had trouble adding others. That's some of the feedback that I've gotten. They've improved button hints for controllers for actions inside the loadout view. When in the inventory screen, equipping a weapon will no longer send you back to the loadout view. Okay. Notifications for new items added during mission end will now be shown when returning to the Morningstar. And they fixed a bug that leaves players in slow motion if they skip a slow motion cinematic shot while it is playing. Lol. Okay, well that's good. That's good. All right. Well, I'm going to test out some of these changes immediately, but for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like my content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm actually kind of excited about this. I know many are also disappointed that crafting isn't out yet, but don't worry, we will keep updated. And I'm looking forward to this dev blog so they can hit us with the ideas of what they want to bring out for this. Thank you again for watching this video. Like I mentioned, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, that is very important. The likes are what drive the content, so make sure you like this video if you want to see more of my Dauntless more of my DarkTide content. I've been playing Dauntless the past few days, so that automatically came out. No, please like my DarkTide content if you want to see more of my DarkTide content. Hitting the like button, you know, unlike those Facebook appeals or whatever, this is the one time where hitting the like button actually works. All right, now before we go, I'm going to give thanks to all of our channel members that make this possible. Starting right at the top with Death982 at Plus Ultra, we've also got I Am Step, Jerry Fast, Rogue Assassin, Old Mr. Cream Puff, and Zach MG at Prestige. Thank you guys so much. All right, in terms of our honored robots, we have the following individuals: Triple D326, Dariverse, Cordova 2182, Maze, Che D12, Stefan Geyer, Coffeed, Underpaid Enlisted Soldier, I'm Peeps, Syed Assad Bukhari, Pringle Bread, Twan Gwen, Miss Eve, Tyler King, Brian Lancaster, Coda CMF, Kami SMH, Jammer Boy, Conrad C, Nate the Great, Curtis Schussler, Corey Ryu, Benjamin Savage, Lady Neo, and Greasy Burger. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you all on the next one, all right? Y'all stay sexy now. Get you later.